time. These are the best days of our lives. Let's raise your glasses high. This one's for you tonight.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode 21 of the SUR Files. We are now legally allowed to consume all copious amounts of alcohol here on the podcast. But mind you, folks, I, Joshie Lopez, am straight edge. I don't partake in alcohol or any other vices. But if you choose to have a drink of wine, beer, anything, whatever your heart compels you, please do that while you listen to this extravaganza that's called the SUR Files. Welcome, everybody. Like I said, I'm Joshie Lopez. Hope you guys are having a good week. A lot to discuss. Thank you guys so much for the support for the page. We're on the road to 100 subscribers on our YouTube channel at the SUR Files, so make sure to check that out if you can. Also, big shout out to our big following and our great people on TikTok. Over 17,000 followers now, and they said the next benchmark for us to start getting some revenues for TikTok is 100,000 followers. So we're getting there closely. But the fact that the page is taking off so much the way it is right now, I was telling my buddy here that I'm just blown away with how much like my phone keeps blowing up with notifications from the TikTok. So I know something's going off if a clip is resonating with you guys. And it's been kind of fun doing some of the TikTok lives recently where I get to interact with you guys and get to know you guys a little bit. So it's been fun doing that for a little bit, and life is good. And this has been a very anticipated episode because it's time to discuss a reunion for the first time in real time here on the SUR Files. And if this is your first time checking us out, we appreciate the support. This is a retrospective concept podcast about the world of Vanderpump Rules and its spin-off The Valley. And this is for every VPR Valley fan, new or old. And if you're first time checking us out, we appreciate the support. A couple things I wanted to plug. First and foremost, thank you to the folks at Odyssey for having us on their platform. Odyssey is the home of the SUR Files, so thank you guys for that help. And you can follow me if you like on X at the Hoots Podcast. I gotta change my X name. I love the Hoots Podcast, but I need to switch it up. But also hit me up on Instagram if you like at Josh Lopez Music. Today, I could not talk about a reunion and finaleing up a season of Bravo shows without a brother of all brothers. If it wasn't this man, there probably wouldn't be a SUR Files, if I'm being honest with you. And he is not only an expert in the world of reality television, he's also a good brother of mine. Folks, it's been a while. Matt McCool, or sometimes I like to call him Mitchell McMule, is back on the podcast. Shout out to Brother Carter for that reference.
Oh, yeah. Director of Operations, man.
Yes. Matt, what's going on, my man? Welcome back on the SUR Files.
Josh, thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be back on. Really excited to be back on the airwaves with you. It just feels like riding a bike again. We just hopped on StreamYard and just talking 45 minutes was just like old times. And I'm so proud of you for everything you've done the show so far. And the TikTok page is exploded. I'm really looking forward to talking about everything with you. It's going to be exciting.
We got so much ground to cover. I think we should, just have, how brothers would have a back porch conversation. We're going to go with this. It's not a format. It's not PTI. We're not going to
on the back porch right now, which is really funny. You said that.
Had the back porch session. That used to be my old segment on the Who's podcast. Those were good times. So, Matt, before we get to the reunion, because I think context is very important, especially when you talk about shows like this and, for myself covering the Valley for the first time and things like that. Before we get to what happened on Wednesday, I just want to go overview with you about a couple things. First and foremost, what is your general takeaway about the season itself, how you felt about it going in, and I know you say you've been catching up with the recent episodes before this
Yeah.
reunion. How are you feeling now coming out of it? Before we even get to what happened on Wednesday.
So to me, like going into the season, obviously without Jax, and the show was kind of revolved around him for 2 years, I was excited to see how the cast would gel. I feel like it was kind of like a little bit of a slow burn for me personally. But, you know, as the cast trip happened and everything got to gel, I think that they ended on a really, really solid note. Definitely enjoyed the season. I definitely love the addition of Lacy. I feel like Lacy is probably the star of the show for me and really made it. I mean, it's pretty obvious after the reunion that she was the main topic of conversation. But I really enjoyed it. But I definitely think that, you know, and we'll talk about this, that there's a couple things that I would like to see moving forward to season 4.
Is there anybody on the cast that you feel like you have any comments that you haven't been able to express on X or on a podcast platform? Is there anybody on the show that you would like to address before we get into the meat and potatoes of all this stuff?
Are you trying to get me to go Bret Hart right now, dude? Or what?
Yes.
I don't think I have like a major problem with anybody on the cast. I just think that there's a lot of like positioning when it comes to how the audience views. Mm-hmm. And it's frustrating to see because it was happening while they were filming. And then I watch the reunion and it's happening all over again. It's all about spinning the audience's mind when, like, in all reality, the facts are the facts. They're black and white. We see it. You can't really change what actually happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I totally see that. And I see in the comment section, especially for a lot of the videos that I've been sharing on TikTok, especially because I get both sides of the fence on nearly every topic that's been going on this season on the show. Especially if you're, you know, with Bravo fans, they always want teams. So are you Team Michelle or Team Jesse? Are you Team Janet? Are you Team Kristen? Are you Team Danny and Nia? Or are you Team Lala and the fucking Mean Girls Club? You know, it just continues on, and there's like these bulls like colliding with each other, and it's like I appreciate the discourse, but part of it is also very catty, very petty. You told me about this going into covering Bravo that, you know, there's very similarities to the wrestling community and the Bravo universe. I don't
know what community is like worse when it comes to this kind of thing, dude. Like it's crazy. People just want to like pick their favorites and root for them, and it doesn't matter what they say or do. They're just going to blindly defend them, and that's crazy to me.
And the fun thing that we're doing here, I don't want to just call it my show, it's our show. You know, me and Matt have this tied together, not just from wrestling, but just getting to know each other for over a decade, which is crazy to think about. But also now with Bravo too, we have this also to bond us with each other. And like, we have this experience of talking about these shows now. And it's fun to have this project now where we can hold people accountable. I had the receipts, and it's a fun concept. You know, I don't want to come on here and just defame somebody's character. I don't think that's the intention at all. But, you know, we're only going off of what we see on television. I'm not going to come in here and denigrate somebody to the extent where I'm defaming them on a personal level. It's not that deep. I'm going to say things that are critical towards Lala and Janet, and I have been saying that all season long. I feel justified in those stance, and I've said them to their face. But I don't. But it's not a reflection of how I see them as a human being. So I want to make that perfectly clear.
You brought her up, so like you mentioned to me anybody to rant about. First thing that comes to mind to me is how horrible the whole cast has treated Danny. It is ridiculous. Like honestly, like. Josh says he's straight edge. I'm somebody I like to have a good time, you know, have a couple drinks, you know, whatever. But like everyone has their moments, and for them to do what they've done to Danny for 2 years now, off of everybody makes mistakes. I'm not like defending his behavior at all, but like for Janet and Lala to like insert themselves and legitimately like make it all about them when like they weren't even there, and he's already apologized is crazy. Watching that back was crazy.
I feel a certain way about it because I am straight edge, because what I've seen growing up and being exposed to people that have issues with alcohol, I chose a straight edge lifestyle because of that reason. That's my main reason why I don't drink. So when I see someone like Lala use this as a crutch to attack people when they're in their weak state of mind or vulnerable and are drunk to bring up things that have been talked about to death, issues that you would think would be done with by now, it's just generally stirring the fucking pot. Yep. For example, not only Danny's birthday and anniversary towards the end of that Mexico trip, let's rewind all the way back to the beginning of that trip where they're all in that room and Zach just goes off on everybody saying, you guys don't have the fucking ability to communicate and have resolve and resolution to things because people always have to talk over each other, not let the person speak for themselves. And after Zach left, you remember this, right? Yeah. Lala leans over to Danny. Danny's in a cool mood. Everything's fine. Nothing was brought up, right? Leans over. Oh, so are you gonna bring up what happened with you liking things on Instagram about Jason being a cuck and all this other bullshit? And I'm like, for you of all people to talk and make a scene about somebody liking something on Instagram to talk shit, you're the last person to talk. Miss, I go on Instagram Live and rip fucking Ariana and Tom Sandoval to shreds on season 8 before the reunion. Oh, you guys are not the safe place. You're not the safe place. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like it's just to me, like I respect anyone's decision to do what they want with their life, but what I don't like is a holier than thou attitude that she has towards it. Yeah. It's like, oh well, now I'm sober and I done nothing wrong. Like she did a lot of crazy stuff. Like, are you kidding me? Have you not watched Vanderpump Rules when she first was on the show? Like, yeah, look, she owns up to her mistakes and stuff. It doesn't mean you need to project. Like, she wasn't even there for all this stuff. She was just cast on this season, so she's just hearing it back from what the audience has said, and then what she's being told by her friends that obviously have rose-colored glasses there.
I want to get your thoughts on this because I said this on the podcast last week. I feel from covering the season that Lala's storyline has been just, okay, I had this shared experience with Janet where we both got royally roasted and ripped to shreds at reunions, and that's all we have. Like, I'm going to be the coach for Janet. I'm going to coach Michelle, and you know, I'm going to be, because I have a loud mouth and nobody loves the sound of their voice more than Lala Kent does.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't, if you watch the show, nobody can tell me otherwise that she doesn't coach Janet and Michelle, and that this whole storyline, this whole season, like, okay, we got embarrassed at reunions, so let's go after everybody because we got ripped to shreds on reunions. You would think there would be some growth along the way, but there hasn't.
There was no growth whatsoever. And I mean, honestly, what was Lala's storyline the whole season? It was literally just piling on to stuff that she had nothing to do with, that she wasn't even there for. Yeah. Nothing else. I mean, look, I'm so happy she's on the show. It's a natural fit, but like, I wish that she came on this season a lot more impartial than she was just partial towards that side, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. Not only that, I know you say you feel bad for Danny. I feel bad for Nia.
Yeah.
More on a human level. Let me just say this, because while I have been critical towards Daniel this season, I'm sorry, you do not speak to your wife in that manner, whether you're sober, drunk, or whatever the situation. You don't speak to women like that, and you don't speak to your wife like that. I don't condone that shit. Yeah. And also him thinking with his dick earlier in the season when she was struggling out of the stages with postpartum and ignoring the verbal cues that she was giving to him. Like, those first couple episodes, I know you say there was like a slow burn and stuff. What I was noticing is that we were really in real time looking at Kristen and Nia after giving birth to Kaya and Adelaide, expressing the depression and, you know, discomfort they're feeling within themselves. And Luke and Danny were thinking with their dicks, basically, those first couple episodes. So, like, while I want to make it clear, I don't have a personal issue with Daniel. I'm over this drinking issue. You do not speak to women like that in general, especially your wife and the mother of your kids.
No.
But I will say this, on a human level, and especially the way Lala and Brittany have been talking behind Nia's back this season, has not set well with me at all. I get it. Janet has her opinion towards Daniel, and that's not going to change. So she's just victim by association, and I don't agree with that. But especially for Brittany to get up in arms and defensive when Zach called her out after that San Diego trip and said that, oh, you're only saying this because you don't like Nia, and like, oh, show me the evidence, show me the proof. You're masculine right there. Not only that, before the season finale, we had this whole mommy makeover photo shoot, and Lala and Brittany corner Kristen to get information out on Nia so they could continue to talk shit behind her back. I know that this was addressed on Watch What Happens Live this week because Brittany was on with Andy. Why was this not addressed at the reunion? Why can't Brittany have a one-on-one conversation and just admit to Nia to her face that she doesn't like the girl? Hell, even the fucking Halloween party in the finale, Nia comes in and then Brittany has the crown. Oh, look at me. Am I Miss USA now? I'm tired of the fakeness when it comes to Brittany and Nia. And Brittany, you can't just keep using the excuse of, the only thing that ever bothered me was the fact that they hide things from cameras. Did you watch this season? I don't think neither of them hide anything from the cameras. How much did she
hide from cameras over the years? Are you kidding me? Like, that's the pot called kettle black. Come on.
Yeah, there's a lot of tension going on right now with Brittany and Jax, which we're going to get to in a minute. I feel bad in the ways where, like I said earlier, this is not personal, but I am allowed to be critical when it needs to be critical.
Yeah.
And I do like Brittany to a certain extent, but she does find herself in a position where she tries to please everybody, but at the same time, you're still talking shit behind people's back. Like, you got to make up your mind which way you want to go about it sometimes. And even the way she handles Zach in certain situations. And, she's saying that Zach disregards her opinions and that she's never allowed to say anything. I think it's the other way around because you shut him down anytime he brings up a concern about Janet, but that's neither here nor there. Am I wrong with looking at it that way?
You're 100% right. I mean, in life, both things can be true, 100%. And I think that she definitely has been playing Switzerland the whole season and just kind of has to put her foot down and, just stand up for what's right. 100%. I mean, I'm not going to play sides either, but I'm also going to give my opinion.
Right. So let's address the elephant in the room, shall we?
Sure.
This has got bigger than I thought it was going to be, this topic. Obviously, they had the news from the Hollywood Reporter that cameras were going to be picked up about this whole situation regarding Jax and his publicist, Lori, who's been working with Brittany and Jax for over 10 years. Brittany said that Lori was like a sister to her in a lot of ways and confided with her with a lot of personal information over the years. And Brittany just did her first interview with People magazine the other day to give her first thoughts on the whole situation as a whole. We found this out about 3 weeks ago. I think this news came out about Jax and Lori in Mexico. And I wanted to address this first because this was not addressed at the reunion. We're going to get to the reunion. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah, because I think the reunion was filmed like the third week in June. It was like right before all this came out.
Yes. And again, content is very important. So if you guys are like, don't be surprised. Like, guys, if you haven't seen the reunion, this news is not going to be talked about on camera probably until after part 3 if they do a special about it. I think that's probably what they're going to do.
No, they're going to talk about it next. They're going to talk about it when they film because it's going to be a main topic of conversation. 100%.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, Brittany gave out her first initial comments about how she felt betrayed by both Jax and Lori. And look, whatever side you're on, the optics don't look good on Jax. It just doesn't. To have, especially, I saw in the statement that she's that Jax said that him and her really bonded over the fact that they both have kids that are on the spectrum and having that dynamic of being parents like that. while that's good, and I do commend what Jax is doing in his sobriety and stuff like that, that also in a way, whether he intended to or not, that is also kind of a dig towards Brittany, because Brittany has especially the last couple years gone out of her way to promote what's going on with Cruz and stuff like that. And I have sensitivity to that because I was born partially deaf and I had Asperger's growing up as a kid, and I took special ed classes and I thought I was going to be fully on that spectrum. I outgrew it, and part of me now is just having tremors with my hands. So I have sympathy for the autistic community. So I will point that out first and foremost. But the root of this whole thing is that, okay, we have these pictures in Mexico, but people still want to talk about this whole situation that happened in Canada a couple years ago about them hooking up in the bathroom. Scheana said in her podcast today that she called Tom Sandoval because Sandoval was in Canada with Schwartz and Jax during that trip. And
always has to be involved, doesn't she? Always has to be a little like in the peripheral. Doesn't matter what's going on. Scheana's involved.
Happy has anybody checked on Scheana Friday? So, anyways, long story short, shit is hitting the fan right now with Jax and Brittany. A lot of people have their opinions on it. Matt, I know you've been missing Jax on TV, even for myself from a wrestling point of view and entertaining standpoint. I've missed Jax on TV. I'm not going to lie. I don't condone his behavior whatsoever, but I'm not going to deny the fact that guy's good television. I'm just not going to deny that fact. But what's your thoughts on the whole situation as a whole?
Oh boy, I have a lot of thoughts because I'm someone that watched Vanderpump Rules like while it was airing, and obviously Jax was my favorite part of the show because he was such great TV. I honestly have felt like the show was missing him. I mean, he kind of helped create the whole show in a way, and I know that he did. And obviously, I don't condone anything that he's allegedly done. You have to treat your wife the right way. Like I would, worship the ground my future wife walks on 100%.
Right. Yeah.
But at the same time, though, I feel like we're not involved in the relationship. We don't all necessarily really know what's going on behind closed doors. But I also think we've known about this for years. I've heard about this rumor for years. Brittany has known about this relationship for years, and for her to now come out and be like, "Oh, I'm so devastated. She was my best friend." Girl, you've known about this for a very, very long time. And it's when the pictures came out, I was like, oh, they're actually officially together. But I've known about this for a long time. Not that it makes it okay or not.
Right.
But just in general for me, I mean, obviously, what he did last season and, all the things that happened before and the fact he had to go to rehab, the whole second season was a little bit disjointed because of that reason. And I don't condone any of that. But you also have to give the guy credit for, getting sober and getting his life together and working on himself. And I find it really, really funny that we're 10 minutes in the reunion and we've already brought up Jax. He's always a topic of conversation because, he obviously is. I don't personally think, and this is just my personal opinion, I think that Brittany projects a lot. I think what she's been through has been crazy, but she constantly brings it up. I think she's lying about a lot of shit when it comes to it. And obviously, all the stuff that she brought up at the reunion, it would not be in her best interest for Jax to come back. She wants everybody to think that Jax is talking about them, and all the Schwartz stuff is crazy too. I don't believe that. Jax and Schwartz have been boys for a really long time. Do you really think he's going to talk crap about his new girlfriend? I mean, I wouldn't be necessarily surprised, but it's just crazy to me. And I really think, and this is, you heard it here first, like Caroline Manzo, that little gif. I think he's absolutely coming back next season.
Absolutely.
There's so much juice. Lori's going to be on the show 100% because that's what they're going to talk about. They were already talking about it, and this stuff didn't even come out yet.
And it's not. I mean, you could look at the paper and say, yeah, it's a sad thing to say, but look, it's reality television. This has never precluded Bravo for bringing people with baggage back on TV shows and stuff like that. But a lot of people on that show have baggage.
Russell Armstrong literally took his own life after a season, and they talked about it the whole time. This is season 2 of Beverly Hills. They've never shied away from this stuff ever.
Right. And whether look, like I said, I don't condone the guy's behavior. I don't. But and I think Brittany said this on the podcast a couple weeks ago, where she said that she's not perfect. Like, she's messed up in ways too. I just feel bad for the cruise of it all. That's why I feel bad about this whole situation, honestly. Do I miss the elements of what Jax brings to these TV shows? Absolutely. I'm not going to deny that fact. It's funny. Hell, I think it's funny when Zach rips Jax. I think it's funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm actually a big fan of Zach Wickham. So if Jax came back for season 4 and Zach is ripping him the entire time, I'll be here for it. And I'll say that straight up. This is not me like, okay, I'm pro Jax and he does absolutely nothing wrong.
No, and I don't want that to come off for me too. Like, I don't want the two guys in the show are defending the guy. No, but like, we're trying to be objective here. Like, we're not defending his behavior at all. He's made a lot of mistakes. I don't think that the way that he's spoken to her and spoken about her, no one should talk about anyone's looks. And I could tell that's horrible. But at the same time, though, like, you know, with anything in life, the truth is usually always somewhere in the middle, whether it's skewing one side or the other.
Do you want to hear from Jax, ladies and gentlemen? Because this is the fun part about having a SUR Files. I could pull up these clips from our TikTok page and we can play it in real time. So here's Jax getting caught up from, I think this is TM's, page 6 came up to Jax while he came out of the gym. Let's hear from Jax himself.
Hey, Jax. Good. Any reaction to Brittany's people interview?
Listen, I don't have a lot to say right now, but I will say this. I understand Brittany's upset. She has, every right to be. But a lot of the stuff she's saying is untrue. A lot of stuff she's bringing up is from 3 years ago. Okay? Nobody has seen me in the last 8 to 9 months. I've gone through countless amounts of rehab, countless amounts of mental health facilities. I go to therapy. I've been working on myself so much. So I think this is kind of unfair to bring this up all of a sudden because of what's going on. As far as Maury goes, I love her to death. Like, you can't help who you fall in love with. And, it's everybody deserves to find happiness. Everyone deserves to be healed. And, I'm just in a much better I'm probably in the, sorry, I'm straight because I just got out of the gym. I'm in the happiest place I've ever been. And I couldn't be happier right now. My mental health has been so amazing since I've been with her. And
that's a blessing, brother.
It's a blessing. And like I said, I think everybody deserves to be happy. I think people just really need to move on. I really do. But like I said, I understand that she's upset. She has every right to be. But can't help who you fall in love with.
So that was Jax. You can see it on our page right now on TikTok at SUR Files. That's the fun part of doing this, right? I could just drop these clips at a moment in time.
Love it.
I'm also a big advocate for men's mental health. I'm
Likewise.
happy for him that he's taking his sobriety seriously and he is doing that. I'm not going to say that he's not because I'm not in his shoes. I'm not with him every day. I never spoke to Jax or hang out with him in person. I don't know Jason Cauchy. A lot of people can say that he's lying and doing all this stuff. I'm not in the guy's shoes, so it's not for me to say. I use the same method in wrestling that I use with Bravo, where the only sources I need are my 2 eyes and my 2 ears. That's all I need. I don't need anybody else to formulate my opinions on something. Some people do that themselves. Janet this whole season wanted to expose Danny for how horrible a person he is. Well, guess what, Janet? You had Danny on a silver platter, and guess what? You made an ass out of yourself at the finale. So
You did the whole. She did the whole apology tour because she wanted the audience to be like, "Oh yeah, she's really changed." And at the end of the season, she throws a drink in his face. Can you imagine if he threw a drink in her face? What the reaction would be? Like, come on! Like the way that him and Nia handled that was perfect. They could have played into it. They could have done the whole thing, and even some of the stuff about him. Look, he had a couple drinks at the finale. Who cares? It's not a big deal. Oh, did he hurt anybody? No.
Hell, he seemed composed, and then we talked about this the other day. Nobody could tell me that ambush by Jason, Janet, and Lala was not pre-planned at that finale. Fucking Stevie Wonder could see that come from a mile away.
We know it's our finale. We have to have a little big moment to skew the season and the audience at the end. Come on, like I will say though, and because Jax is the same way. Lala is a veteran. She knows what she's doing. She's played this game before. She knows she is smart when it comes to the show and how it works, and because she's been there.
So let's start this off with the reunion, because we had part 1 on Wednesday. Decided to talk about the reunion, folks. Right here, Doute here is right now we're recording this a little behind the fourth wall, as Stassi Shorter likes to does on House of Stassi. We're going to do that. We'll break the fourth wall here. So we're talking right now. You'll hear a pause here as I play the intro from the Valley theme song, as I've done every week with the recaps. So we're going to do that right about now as we get to part 1 of the season 3 reunion of the Valley right here on the SUR Files. All right, guys, it's time to get to the reunion, part 1 that happened on Wednesday. We were just coming out of the break talking about Janet and Danny and Lala. Mind you, everybody said, and the critics were like, we're tired of Danny's storyline. That's all the cats talk about. That's all they talk about. Guess what? That topic was not brought up one time during this reunion on Wednesday, which I found to be fascinating, to be honest with you. Were you surprised that it wasn't brought up at all?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're going to probably save that for 2 and 3, but I mean, it was just like a lot of natural conflict with Lacy and Michelle, and I was actually surprised at just how like little most of the cast spoke in the whole first episode of the reunion.
Mm-hmm. I will say, like, the whole thing with there had this thing where Andy asked Kristen about her being caught on camera saying that Nia guilt tripped Zach. That whole scene is taken out of context, and she even admitted it to herself that she chose the wrong words at that moment. Nobody could guilt trip Zach Wickham. All right,
no.
Nobody. I can't. You can't. Nobody in that cast could guilt trip Zach for anything. The guy is probably one of the more self-aware people that I've seen on television. Like, he's gonna call something out when he needs to be called out on. So to have that be framed and seeing how giddy Brittany and Lala were in that moment, like I talked about the photo shoot, like, oh, see, we got him, Matt. That was so stupid. And then not only that, think about this. So we spent the first segment of the reunion talking all about Jax. We find out that him and Jesse had a falling out over a rage text that Jax sent towards Jesse's direction during BravoCon last year. I believe that end more than what he said about Schwartz and his girlfriend.
Why? First of all, why would Jax even say that? Like, do I believe that he sent the rage text to Dan? Like, 100%, he definitely did. But like, just like I said earlier, like, it's in Brittany's best interest for them not to like Jax, so he's not back on the show, so nobody films with him. Like, there's all this layered thing behind it. I just think it's hilarious that like we have this whole season. And then within the first like 10 minutes, we bring up Jax, and then Scheana comes up too. Like, Lala, what's your storyline? It's boo-hoo because of Scheana. That was it. The whole first episode.
So I saw the TV version, and then I found out that they had extra minutes, an extended version on Peacock the next day. So I'm assuming you saw the Peacock version, right? You saw, you heard, and everything.
Yes.
You saw Lala break it down and everything?
I had my espresso this morning and watched it fresh.
Okay. So I guess just to start off from there, just in general, what was like your main takeaways, and how did you feel about this part 1 from the reunion this week?
I definitely enjoyed it. My main takeaways are, number 1, again, I feel like Lacy was a star of the reunion. I think she's added so much to the show. It's been very nice to like not have to watch all the girls just gang up on Jesse because no one is in his corner at all. Not that he's 100% correct, because he's made mistakes, of course, like we all have.
Yeah.
I think that it's crazy to me like how And honestly, it's sad. This is my personal opinion. How much Michelle wants the audience to not like Jessie.
Oh,
like,
God.
The whole thing, it's ridiculous. Like, she's making up all this stuff, like, and I just don't understand it at all.
Can I go off here, Matt?
Yeah, of course.
Am I allowed to go off?
Of course.
I've been waiting all season to get this off my chest. Michelle, straight up, is fake as fuck. I'm just gonna call it this straight out of the gate. I hate saying that because I wanted to give the girl grace after what she dealt with last season. And like, again, Jessie did not carry himself well those first couple seasons. We're not gonna deny that. I'm not gonna put a blind eye to it. I do like Jessie, just from a human level. I do kind of share a Taurus bond. We were both born in May, so shout out to Jessie for being a Taurus. But anyways, I'll say this. I have a real issue when people deflect when they're being called out on their bullshit and just dropping. They have this term in wrestling, passing the heat. They have this term in wrestling when they want to blame somebody else for something that they did. So you're passing the heat to somebody else, basically. And basically, Michelle, this whole season and this reunion is passing the heat towards Jessie for every little fucking thing. Mind you, we saw Michelle at the reunion the same way Michelle was at the end of episode 1 this season. Let's rewind. We had Kristen and Nia's baby sippancy for Adelaide and Kaya. And guess what? Lacy shows up for the first time.
By the way, that was so awesome. They didn't tell her.
Yeah, they don't owe her a heads up. It's a party. If you have an issue with that, bring that up to Kristen and Nia. Oh, Lacy showed up and you saw her whole mask clip right there. Oh, and then they had the confessionals. Oh, Lacy likes to play nice to everybody, but behind the scenes, she's a real bitch. Like, I think it's actually the other way around. Actually, for the way you talk in your confessionals, not only that, I had to sit through and record these different versions of the after show to share the clips on the TikTok page. Michelle talks out of both sides of her ass every chance she gets.
She does. She really does. She wants to be better with Lacy, but at the same time she's fighting with her, and like it's crazy.
And she's definitely have attended the Lala Kent School of Healing and how to be on Bravo television.
Oh, she's been coached 100%. And I also want to bring up the fact that her saying that Jessie is with Lacy for money is absurd.
Oh, God.
Absurd. When like, I mean, I really like, I almost like got emotional myself when Jessie was talking about like, oh, like it's really hard to like teach your 5-year-old daughter about like a heartbreak with a man. Like, obviously that's not ideal, but
right.
She's the one that's been introducing different men, like whatever the situation was. And that's just not okay at all.
She doesn't have a fucking leg to stand on because you cheated on your husband.
Yeah, exactly.
While you're still married.
And then she still denies it too, which is crazy.
I'll never. It's funny now because like Chris had these funny facial expressions when she's like, "Oh, she had a boyfriend for a fucking year." So she's moving. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I watched that clip now. It's so funny. They still show that flashback a couple times. And then when Jessie's found out that Aaron was the guy behind the honey company or whatever that Michelle would go to Runyon.
One of the most aloof dudes I've ever seen in my life. You ever look at he just like there was just nothing there.
Yeah,
nothing.
He had to be at least an extra in like a Dr. Seuss movie. Like seriously. So I have no sympathy for Michelle. I don't, especially with the situation with Michelle and the situation with Jessie and Lacy. And then you go up and have the nerve to tell Jessie about public display of affection in Mexico. Oh, I'm feeling uncomfortable. Can you reduce that? It's starting to make me feel away. Well, guess what? Michelle is flaunting her body, takes her top off, has her breasts out for the whole public to see. In Mexico, she's dancing at that club after Zach got his head hit on that bus ride.
dude, okay, can we talk about this for just a quick? I literally, like, it's not funny, but it was really funny because he was just like, and he just bang. Like, and honestly, Zach, I give you so much credit. A+ reality star, literally didn't miss a second of filming, put with a bandage on his head. It was amazing.
He was epic this season. I'm not gonna lie, he was tremendous.
I think a lot of people have said like that he like kind of plays it up for the cameras, but I think it's just honestly his genuine reaction. I thought that he was great this season too.
Oh yeah, and then Jason on the reunion to say, people are only mad at my wife because it curries favor with them in the comments section. Shut the fuck up.
Talk about being coached. He's been coached since the second they started filming by his wife. That guy has no backbone whatsoever.
He doesn't have a backbone because Lala literally infiltrates both their brains. Hell, even at the finale, she's like having to convince Janet to have sex with the guy or give him a blowjob just because his knee is fucked up. Like, what are you doing? Like, are you guys that minute as people where you can't come up with your own thoughts? You need people to speak for you and handle your own problems? No,
most of the things he says on the show, it sounds like Janet. Like, it's crazy to me. And look, he seems like a really nice guy, and I understand, like, happy wife, happy life and stuff, but it's pretty obvious what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. And going back to Zach really quick with the busting, he had less of a reaction of getting hit. He sold more for the fact that bird poop shit on his. He got bird poop on his shoulder. You heard the screen that he had. Oh my god!
He's also excellent in confessionals too. I will say.
Yeah, Zach did a TikTok live the other day that I got to watch in real time. Him and Jasmine were on, and he's saying that him and her have more fun during the confessionals and the after show than actually filming, because that's when they get to showcase more of their personality and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty funny. Really quick, I want to cap up what I was saying earlier about Michelle and everything, because I want to give a lot of flowers to Lacy because she deserves them. Michelle had probably one of the worst performances I've ever seen at a reunion on Wednesday. And I think we're barely scratching the surface on this, because I know that she's bringing up this whole thing next week about this $300,000 loan that Jesse's a part of. You would think that Michelle thinks that Jesse has no money to the point where he probably can't afford an apartment or anywhere in Hollywood or in LA or in the Valley. You would think that he's just dirt poor and has nothing to his name, which I think is bullshit, and it's not true. And even Jesse said on the reunion this week that he knew Lacy for over a decade, and had conversations with her. And, he's only with her for her money. One, that's ridiculous. I'm glad that Lacy pointed out and called all four of them out for their misogyny. I love that.
Oh, same here, 100%.
It was one of the worst reunion performances I've ever seen in my entire life.
She's been bringing up that money thing for 3 years.
That's all she could talk about.
Exactly.
You don't think that Jesse's making pretty decent money for being on the show? I would take the money for being a cast member in the Valley, and I'd be able to pay for an apartment. Can you picture the amount of money these people get for being on a Bravo TV show?
It's not even just their salary. It's all the ads on social media. It's all the parties and everything that comes with it. That's where they make all their money, is outside of the show.
So...
And I also think it's really funny, like, Michelle saying Jesse's performative is insane. When she literally came out with a whole, like, pre-recorded line, and from the second they started, she was just going after Lacy. Like, even like when Lacy came out, like, her body language, like, what are you doing? Like, what did she really do to you? You're just upset that he's happy, and you're mad that obviously things didn't work out with her boyfriend and stuff, and I feel bad about that, but I just think it's all it's very, very rich coming from her, and it's just absurd.
She's just very immature. I'm just going to call how I see it. She's very immature, especially when it deals with conflict or being called out for your own, own bullshit. She's very immature. She deflects, she projects, like Lacy said. And not only that, think about this. Like you said, you brought up the whole Aaron thing. She's introducing all these people to Isabella and stuff like that and having no self-awareness of the situation. And then you want to be mad at Jesse for being a good father and looking out for his daughter's well-being and her mental health. And then Janice chiming in.
Yeah, and
then fucking Lala's chiming in.
Which is crazy. It's not a competition. It's not like it's like tit for tat. Like he obviously just wants what's best for his daughter, and she does too. But it's definitely not, in passing introducing you to like another guy. Like that's crazy to me.
And then Lala's like, oh, I know it's not a fact. We're just giving our opinion. Lala, why do you give a fuck about why somebody's with somebody? And then you're accusing them for being with somebody for money. Mind you, hi, Mrs. I give blowjobs for Range Rovers. Hi.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I have to call out double standards. I just have to. It's so stupid. And then Lacy calling out Brittany, Janet, Lala, and Michelle at the same time for the misogyny, for talking down to Jesse for Lacy having money. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It is bullshit. And then the best part of the reunion for me during that whole exchange with Lacy and Michelle was when I think she said something about Michelle throwing a fit at Jesse's house, and she's in the middle of the street yelling and losing her mind, and her neighbors are about to call the police on her. That was my favorite part of the reunion because she shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
she knew that she caught her, and everybody knew it too. And then, Lacy brought up the thing that Michelle sent her text saying that she's going to expose her and ruin her life. And then everybody's like, "Yeah, we saw the text. We saw the text."
Like, yeah, I've seen all the text. Like you have no legs to stand on whatsoever.
I was so proud of Lacy because I know that she was going to deal with a lot of flack. And I see a lot of Team Michelle comments on the TikTok page and stuff like that. And like, you guys want to play catty with high school behavior and those are the girls you want to look up to, more power to you. But
go right ahead.
I deal with facts and what's right in front of my screen. You want to know what's performative, Michelle? You crying to Lacy on that boat in Mexico. That's performative.
100%. Because she doesn't follow up with her actions at all. I also love Lacy's line of being she's a perpetual victim because she is a perpetual victim.
She
100%.
is.
Like, whether Jesse treated you great in your marriage, and I'm sorry about that, and obviously, like I said earlier, a lot of times the truth's in the middle. You continue to be a victim about this and bring things up that you brought up for years when no one's even talking about it. Like, I just think her entire attitude towards Lacy is just not okay whatsoever. And watch. She's going to watch this reunion, and they're going to start filming in a couple weeks, and she's going to be, oh, we should be better, Lacy, and we should be friends. It's going to happen. Trust me. You heard it here first.
By the way, I put this up. Excuse me. You have three people, Jax, Todd Sandoval, and Scheana. If you could pick one or two, who would you like to see on season 4 if they're going to do it? Who would you like to be on there?
Definitely Jax.
Okay.
100%. Do I have to pick one, or can I say?
No,
honestly,
you can pick one, two, or all three.
if I'm going to put my producer hat on right now after watching the first episode of the reunion, the whole Lala Scheana thing is gold, and I think that whether she's a friend or not, obviously Brock brings a lot to the show as well. I think that Scheana definitely is kind of a perpetual. She wants to be in the spotlight and all that stuff, but I think that there's so much content there. If we're going to why don't we just bring them all back? You know what I mean? Like, I'd be completely okay with Tom Sandoval coming on the show. But I also believe, and I want to bring this up, they need new blood. I want a new couple from the Valley that is not connected with the cast. Maybe not connected, but I think that we need new cast members. 100%. Maybe a younger couple, and somebody to come on the show like Lala, but is not going to come on with their reality TV hat on. You know what I mean? Like, like Amanda Francis came on Beverly Hills, or just kind of a younger housewife that would just come in and just not really care. That's what I think the show needs. I mean,
Well,
obviously, it's a really big cast, so I don't know what they're going to do about that.
Well,
But-
how about this? They keep bringing up Jenna Willis on this reunion. Why not bring her on the show?
Yeah.
She was there for season 2 too, and we could really get into the whole Michelle and direct your anger towards the people that actually gossip about you. Stop worrying about your fucking ex-husband all the time. By the way, I wonder how Janet feels about her dating Dr. Dre, knowing that he has a domestic violence background, but we want to worry about Danny Bucco the entire time.
Exactly. I want to make a comment about that. I think what happened to her is terrible. But I think that she was literally just trying to make it about herself, and she wasn't even there at all. And for her to bring that up and have it be like a big crazy crying event after something that she was not involved in was insane. And obviously she's just trying to make good TV. And then obviously Lala's going to follow along with her and get in his face. And I really give Nia and Danny a lot of credit for how they've handled themselves, not only in Mexico, but at the finale event, because I probably would have thrown a drink in her face. Like, I was like, I don't know what I would have done, but he didn't even do anything. He was just sitting on the couch and she just wanted to have a moment there. And it's unfortunate. She's also somebody that I know 100% plays the audience. Like, she takes notes after the show. She coaches her husband. Like, come on. It's obvious. It's been obvious since season 1.
Absolutely. And even Lala, like, for her to say that Zach and Kristen live in the comment section, you live in the comment section too. Like, who are you fooling? Not only that, you just brought up the whole scene in Mexico where they got to that big confrontation. Oh, here's Lala's chance to go after another pageant girl. Oh, hey, I got another opportunity to go after a Bambi-eye bitch, right? That's what she would say, right? Oh, she looks at Nia the same way she looks at Rachel. By the way, fun fact, Nia was actually a pageant coach of Rachel Leviss during her
That's wild.
journey.
I did not realize that at all.
I found that out about a year and a half ago when I started catching with the Valley, and they, I found out with the last season of Vanderpump Rules, they had the after show, but they also had the Valley people on that after show as well. So I got to hear that story from Nia when I found out about that. So, we had the perfect scenario. A lot of things she could just walk over Nia. Well, you got another thing coming because Nia's actually a badass and she's not gonna take shit from anybody. I said this a while ago in a couple episodes, like, there's a time and place for things to bring up conversations. I hate posturing. If you have an issue with somebody, just bring it up to them.
Yeah.
And then it's reading the room. Danny has a right to feel and vent about having his character being defamed every single fucking week. We have our limits.
It's the whole show. Like, I look again, like, I don't condone what he did, but this is something that happened almost like 2+ years ago. And like, how about we like come up with something, a different storyline, have something else be exciting in our lives versus just continuing to bring this up to play to the audience. And also though, like, I want to bring this up, like, Lala knew what she was doing. She was inviting Danny. She wanted him to get in her face and be like, oh, you talk to women like this. She was inviting him to do that. So the fact that Nia stood there in front of her husband, which was great. Lala, why are you not talking to Nia about this? Like, come on. Like, it's not like, don't, like, you're accusing him of doing something and then you're literally baiting him into doing exactly what you're accusing him of, period.
Exactly, right there. You said it perfectly. You're rage baiting him. You are. Mm-hmm. You did it in the room when everybody was getting to a shouting match with each other. You did it again, and then you did it in the finale again. There's a time and place for everything. So, okay, Miss Sobriety, how are you going to have a resolve with somebody when you're not talking to them on an even playing field? You can't pick and choose when you want to confront somebody on issues you have with them. That's not right. You already have an agenda. You already know what your outcome wants to be out of it, no matter what the person says. She did the same thing with Tom Sandoval during season 10. She didn't give a fuck about Ariana. Give me a break. Go watch that reunion. She's more upset with the fact that Tom called her out about the whole Randall shit the season prior at that reunion. So she spent all season 10 trying to find ways to make Tom look bad. Now, again, like I said 100 times, he did himself no favors with the whole situation. No. He fucked up. I'm even as a Tom Sandoval fan, I could admit to that.
That season was so tough to watch.
It was tough to watch. I got kind of emotional watching it because I actually really like Tom and Ariana as a couple. So to see Holly knowing that was going to dissolve was really rough to watch at that moment. But she didn't give a fuck about Ariana.
No.
They were arguing with each other on season 9, and you made that whole season 10 about yourself. She didn't give a fuck about Ariana. So
I also didn't like how, like, obviously they're filming a show and Ariana's like, I'm not going to film with him. Well, then why did you sign up to do the show? Like, come on. Like,
yeah.
And I know for a fact, Scheana's literally admitted afterwards that she brought things up just to stir the pot. That whole contrived thing at the end of the finale was like, just so they could have another season. Like, you guys are done. Like, let's just kind of move on. It was very, very tough to watch, especially as somebody that's watched reality TV for as long as I have. I can call out those things when I see them, and it was very, very staged. Like, not staged from production standpoint, staged on their standpoint, which does happen.
Oh,
you can't prevent it.
How did you feel about Luke saying that he did not watch one episode for the season? Because it's been part of a discussion that people, like, if you're on a reunion stage, you should at least be required to watch back the shows. Like, how do you feel about all of that? I'm surprised that he didn't watch it, to be honest with you.
I feel like at my core, when it comes to this situation, I think he didn't want to watch it because he didn't necessarily want to see how he was talking about Kristen. Not that his feelings aren't valid, because they are. Yeah. And obviously, but also, though, like, I do understand what he's saying. Like, she just gave birth. They have a newborn. You're filming a television show. She's never been a mother before. Like, there was a lot of stress on both ends for sure. Teresa Giudice is famous for saying she doesn't watch the show, which I think is hilarious. Yeah. But I mean, in general, I think that if you're going to be on a reunion, you're going to defend yourself. You can't just go off your mind and what you remember happened, because when you watch it back, it's a whole nother level of understanding of what happened when you see yourself on TV. I think that's a valuable aspect of it as well. So yeah, I think that he definitely should have watched the show back 100%, but I think it was 100% because he didn't want to see what he was saying about Kristen. Not that she was perfect and everything. You know, obviously you don't take things out on people, but I think what he said at the end was just, you know, it was a tough time for both of them.
I got a couple more things for the reunion, because we have other things we want to hit on today for Bravo stuff, and it's good to have Matt here because he watches a lot of the other shows. I'm a very busy lad outside of this project. I also cover pro wrestling, so I don't have the time to catch up with all the other series. So I know things on the periphery, like, oh, by the way, little sidebar. If we didn't talk about this on air, but if you have any thoughts about the Wes Wilson and Amanda Battuglia situation, as Dave Portnoy likes to call her. Amanda Battuglia.
I think it's so funny that he weighed in on that. Like, hilarious. I know a lot of people don't like him, but like him just like sitting on his chair in the Florida Keys, like trying to like get involved in the situation because people are talking about it, is so funny to me.
Literally the way he says her last name always cracks me up. It's ridiculous. Did he have any thoughts on that situation?
I mean, Josh, like I could do a whole show about this. Just like I said earlier about people, you can tell when people like each other. You can tell when there's a vibe, and there was a vibe with them that whole last season. I don't think Kyle is perfect, but I think that Kyle was the target of the last season. It really reminded me of Danny a lot, and I felt bad for Kyle, honestly. And I think that she was 100% done with that marriage last summer. I'm sure she tried to work on it, but like the fact that they lied and didn't tell them and like could have blown up the whole show, when in all reality now, like, Summer House is on a whole nother level. They're not going to be involved with it, obviously, maybe this season. I think that they'll both be on In the City, I think. But I mean, I'm not surprised at all. And honestly, I've always had a feeling that Amanda was just like, there was something there that was just kind of a little bit weird. So it doesn't really surprise me that she decides to go with West. So that whole thing was crazy. I could do a whole episode about it. But I'm personally just so happy that Kyle is just single and can kind of live his own life. And, you know, I think that obviously her big thing with him was, you know, going out and partying and drinking. But like, he was like, look, I'm trying to support our family. Like, my business is really struggling. It could go under. Like, that's the reason why he's doing it. If it's going to make him money, like, why would he not go be a DJ? Like why?
Right. I agree. it was interesting, like the reunion for Summer House, that they pulled a Rachel Leviss and took beta blockers so they wouldn't show emotion.
Oh,
I
he
thought
was.
that'd be interesting.
I was so happy that Andy asked them, like, "Hey, are you on anything? Like, you seem just like not like." Because usually they wouldn't necessarily ask, but I'm happy he did.
Yeah, Andy. I brought up the one thing that I thought was a miss from the reunion was him not asking Brittany on the spot about the whole shit talking behind Nia's back. I brought that up earlier, but this reunion ended with Brittany and Zach going back and forth about where things stand with their friendship, and him feeling like his feelings are not hurt, and then her vice versa saying that she's not allowed to have an opinion. And we had this very weird, awkward hug that Zach had with Janet that I did not buy one iota from either end, to be honest with you. Janet didn't want to do that. I'm sure Zach didn't want to do that hug. I felt that was a force feed, to be honest with you. But as far as the Brittany-Zach dynamic and what you've seen this season, do you understand where Zach is coming from about her pushing his feelings aside and, she's just trying to be in the Mean Girls Club and, she's not really paying attention to the real ride or die friends that she actually has in her life?
They've been friends for 10 plus years. And I think that Brittany this season was, obviously splitting from Jax and, getting her life together, and I'm very happy for her, mommy makeover, all that good stuff. But I think she just played Switzerland. Like, at a certain point, you have to be loyal to your friends, and they've been friends for a very long time. And I 100% agree with Zach. She definitely pushes feelings to the side, and I feel bad. I'm sure, obviously, like they said in the reunion, like they're always going to be friends and stuff. But in those types of friendships, like you do have ups and downs and different waves there. But they'll always be good friends. So I'm hoping that they, get back on track next season and can talk about this.
I want to play a clip from the reunion. Sorry about that. Stupid phone. Every time you go on TikTok, it always automatically makes noise even if you have your phone on mute. I wanted to play this from the reunion where Kristen had some comments towards Janet. I thought this was very interesting. You alluded to this earlier about her not seeing any change in Janet. Let's hear from Kristen herself.
You made it BravoCon that you think Jason and Janet will be the next Valley couple to get divorced. Why did you think that?
To be honest, I was trying to just answer the question, and I was like, no one. And then I was in the moment. We had just wrapped filming, and as we all know how the finale went, I was just pissed. But I absolutely don't think you guys are getting divorced.
Janet, how did you? You just don't like us. That's why you said it. There's not more.
Honestly, I was happy about it because the couples that Kristen supports normally don't end up together.
Ooh. She didn't support Michelle and I in season 1 very well. I mean, I need to go through the list. Yeah.
I don't support couples. I support my friends and whatever makes them happy. You were holding on to that line, weren't you? You were like, I'm ready to bring this out at the reunion.
I actually haven't heard that line before. Zach, at Brittany's house just before San Diego, you said the words didn't mean much. You were looking for action. So what action were you looking for from her?
All I want is for over a period of time, slowly, let's build that relationship back. Instead of this over the top performative, not to use that word, but sorry, it is what it is. She tends to ingratiate herself by either giving gifts or doing something, and it's a manipulative tactic. And instead of just being yourself, it's like you have to do that constantly.
It seems more sticky and lighthearted, not so manipulative, though, right?
You invited me to your housewarming party, and I couldn't go, so I sent you a gift. I don't think that that's manipulative.
Kristen, Scheana from Atlanta said, why are you going so hard on Janet when you yourself had to work your way back after receiving backlash from the things you did, going back to Vanderpump Rules when you slept with Jax, to season 1 of The Valley when you revealed Michelle was having an affair? You want everyone to forgive and forget. So why can't that be the same for Janet?
I want to see evolution, not fake change. And I worked really, really hard, especially during Vanderpump days, for over a year and a half with no friendships and went to therapy and proved myself over time with actions that Stassi, Katie, and everyone decided on their own time to let me back in. I never forced that on anybody. And they saw evolution. I don't see that with you. Like, I've been waiting to see that, but
I don't think anybody gave her a chance.
Shape-shifting.
I don't think anyone gave her a chance.
But Lala, this whole summer, I was waiting to see it this summer. I saw nothing. Nothing. I got nothing. Okay.
Yep.
And that's exactly how I feel about it. Watching the show, I really wanted to, give her a chance and see the growth in her. And
Same here.
She was just, trying to be nice. And then, like, at the end of the season, you just get back into your old ways because you think the audience is going to go against Danny and Naya and you're going to throw a drink in his face. Like, you haven't changed at all. Like, and Kristen's 100% right. She was very isolated for a long time. And they called her Crazy Kristen. And she was able to, come back and, show that she really did change.
Right. Did the audio come in? I wanted to make sure that
yes.
you were able
to.
All right, cool. So I make sure. So I agree with you. Kristen hit the nail on the head, especially towards the latter end. Like, even Lala chiming, I don't think anybody gave her a chance. Lala, you try to shove Janet down everybody's fucking throat this season.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not on you for people to see her in a different manner. It's on Janet to show her actions are different. It's not on you to convince other people to look things in a different direction. Because you were trying to convince Scheana to look differently at Ariana on season 11. You even tried to do it towards Katie at the reunion about, Katie vented about Ariana one time about the sandwich shop, and you made this as the biggest thing on earth. And, Katie's hiding from the cameras. It doesn't want to reveal anything, and blah, 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 blah. And look, I'm not the biggest Katie Maloney fan in the world. I'm not.
I was just going to say I'm not a huge fan.
So, like, I will say it's kind of cool that her brother works for the WWE. He's one of the photographers and documentary people, so I think that's pretty dope. And I will say that Katie did a good job on House of Stassi from what I've seen so far this season.
Likewise. I honestly think that, like, what Stassi said is 100% true. Like, I think that she couldn't do the project without, like, Katie and Kristen Kelly and all those people. So I'm very happy she's on that show. And honestly, I definitely have seen, like, more growth out of Katie in, like, an episode and a half that I've seen of House of Stassi than I saw the entire Vanderpump Rules, to be honest. So I'm open to that too.
As we wrap up this discussion about the reunion for part 1, is there anything else you want to mention, or is there anything that you saw from the preview for next week that stood out to you that you're looking forward to?
I just, like, I don't understand why everyone's storyline is Danny's drinking. Like, I just think it's so, like, seriously, like, you guys have nothing else to talk about. There's no other storyline to where we have to continue to bring this up, where he's already apologized. He's already made amends with the person that I guess he did this to, and she's okay with it. She's okay with being around him. And then we have other people just trying to, like, make it their storyline and pile on. Like, I've seen it so many times in the reality TV realm and in the Bravo realm, and it's really, really unfortunate because, look, like I've said, he's made mistakes. He's not perfect. I'm not on any one specific side, but, like, if this is all you're going to talk about, it's insane. Come up with another storyline.
Right. Not only that, did you see Brittany chiming in? Oh, bring up something about the wedding. Bring up something. She did that again last reunion, right? I think she said something about Jesse. Just like, bring something up about a wedding or whatever. I'm like, Brittany, like, I want to support you, but you're not helping me when you do that posturing shit. Speak up. Say with your chest. Say what
when you
start
doing the posturing stuff on the couch. To me, it just screams that we had a meeting before the reunion and we decided what we're going to say and do. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. By the way, Lala being how do we say, like, flabbergasted that Jesse said that she coaches Michelle, yet they come back. Did you see that come back from the commercial break where she's literally coaching Michelle about how people pre-plan things for the reunion? You got a hot mic and you're going to say that you don't coach people. Oh, I have to coach Michelle how to defend herself and hate everybody. Yeah, you do.
She's a veteran for a reason.
Like, what else do you bring to the table this season besides you coaching Janet and Michelle? don't get wrong, she's great on the eyes. She's sexy as fuck and great to see on the TV screen. But outside of pot stirring and coaching, what was she brought to the table this season?
She's got to have more of a storyline about her own life, and I think she just kind of wanted to come in and be on that side and stir the pot. And you need to talk about more than just other people's lives. I mean, I know that, like, obviously there's only so much time and they film 80 hours a week for 45 minutes and all that good stuff, but, like, Come on.
Do you have any thoughts about her crying and her side of the story as far as her fallout with Scheana? Because that was a big discussion this week.
Honestly, I was really surprised. I did not. I knew they were really close. I think that their daughters are really close and they grew up together and stuff.
Yeah.
And as a viewer for next season, like I've said, I'm intrigued, and I think that this is going to be a bridge to bring Scheana back, because I think there is a lot of, like, actual juice there that was necessarily missing. That was definitely missing from this last season. I don't know. I mean, I don't really necessarily know what happened. I hope that they can work it out, because I know they were really good friends, and as a viewer, I just want to kind of see more of that play out.
I think that it was a bad look for Lala, where I know that she's sad, and I think there is care for her and Scheana, and I think it's probably more tied in with, like you mentioned, with the kids being friends. And she said that they graduated from, I think it was pre-K or first grade or something like that, that day when they were filming the reunion. So her emotions were very high. So I'm not saying it's not genuine, but for her to go, like, with Doc Jesse for how he fakes cries, and then she's, like, back to a normal state not even 10 seconds later after she was crying about Scheana. I don't know. Something about that seemed fishy to me.
Definitely a little bit. I mean, I was just going to say, I believe it was genuine, and that's, you know, me, after me saying that I think she coaches people and stuff, I think that moment itself was genuine, but like, obviously she, like, very quickly just changed her mindset. So
yeah, I hope Scheana does come back. We need other things to talk about on this show than drinking, and because everybody on the show has issues with drinking. So, like,
everyone, I mean, look, people drink, have fun, do whatever you want, but, like, to me, it just felt like the whole season they just kept bringing up things from the past, and, like, let's talk about, like, a current drama, or what's going on in your current lives. Like, that's why I'm strongly suggesting the producers bring in some new blood. They need some new blood. I'm not going to say anyone should be fired. I don't necessarily do that with this show. But I think they need some new cast members to stir things up a little bit, and not necessarily Scheana and Jax, like a new couple.
Right. I agree with you. I also, it was interesting, like, they had the preview, and I think Lacy's going to get into it with Lala next week, and Lala's, like, cutting her off, and she's like, "Hey, man, I'm just trying to explain my story here." And you're like, "Oh, you're it's really long. It's really long." You're like, you talk too long. Like,
you brought up Lacy again, and I do want to say that I did write this down. To me, like, watching the reunion, it felt like Jesse and Lacy were the adults in the room. Like, 100%. They kept their composure. They responded. There wasn't anything crazy. And Michelle just, like, got called out and then just, like, had that dumb look on her face. Like, oh, I just got called out completely.
Well, when
all you have to do is replay the past, and it's black and white, like we've talked about.
Right. So that was part one of the reunion. I know you wrote a lot of stuff down for today, and I know you've been excited to come back on the pod, and we're having a blast, brother. Like, the fun thing with me and Matt, we could have these periods where he's not on the show, wherever we always get back to the same way.
It's always back to exactly what it was. Like, it took about 2 seconds.
The chemistry cannot be denied.
Absolutely not. Yeah, Josh and I in our past did the pipe bomb with McCool and Company before. Lots of, like, wrestling rumors warm up. We spent lots of, like, nights after post shows and before Raws and stuff, just catching up and shooting the shit. And this has been awesome.
Yeah, conversations that would go to 3 or 4.
Yes, because I have to plan for, like, the pre-show, and then we would do the show, and then we would hang out after the show. Like, there was definitely lots of nights I was editing the pipe bomb very, very, very early into the morning and stuff. But love those memories for sure. They were always so much fun.
Matt, I want to ask you, because you wrote some stuff down, and was there anything else from the reunion that you wrote down that you wanted to say, or is there a different topic that we could transition into for now? Or if you want to talk about House of Stassi, whatever floats your boat, my man.
Yeah, let's hit on House of Stassi a little bit.
Okay.
I honestly, it was so refreshing watching the show because as a reality TV viewer for a long time, the fourth wall wasn't always demolished. There was always a fourth wall with housewives, like, okay, oh, I know her from my gym, quote unquote, X, Y, and Z. But it was just very refreshing watching House of Stassi that they completely removed the fourth wall and talked about the fact that she wanted to make this show, that she wanted certain people on this show. To me, and also as a wrestling fan, it brings a level of authenticity to the show that I really appreciated.
I agree. I'm only 3 episodes in, so I don't have a full takeaway, but everything you just said about the editing process and how it's presented with the little pop-up like context clues for people's reading people's facial expressions, I thought that was great. I'm really happy for Stassi for the fact that she has a second lease on her professional life and that she's overcoming what she dealt with her being fired from Vanderpump Rules and everything. And it was a topic that she did address on episode 3. So if you guys want to see her talk about how her and Bo handled that situation, I thought it was a very interesting conversation because they had it at the same location where they got engaged. So I thought that was a nice callback. I will say, though, I think that Stassi is a superstar.
100%.
I'm not going to deny that. While I was not a fan of her the first couple seasons of VPR when I was watching the show, I don't like snotty people for the sake of being snotty. But I will say that girl has one of the best get the gabs I've ever seen in my entire life when it comes to entertainment and when it comes to like shit talking and stuff like that. She's just on another level, Matt, when it comes to get the gab. And she's very good with her words. I'm just happy for her because, while I don't condone in the nature of what she did that got her fired in the first place, there's no place for that. There's just not. So I'm glad that she learned from her mistakes and stuff like that. I'm just happy for her that she gets to write her own story on her own terms now. And then we had this whole conversation, Matt, that her and Katie had at the Belmont, where that all just ended up being a conversation with them ripping the producers and stuff at Vanderpump Rules for, the guys got highlighted and the women were always made to look bad, I don't know if I don't agree with that
at all.
I don't agree with that.
Not a chance. I want to say that, like, obviously Jax was a main part of me getting into the show, but the stars of the Vanderpump Rules from the start were Jax and Stassi. Like 100%. Like obviously,
absolutely,
all the characters fit in. They all have their own role in the show, but just their relationship was just so like funny to watch, and them getting back together. And there was an authenticity of like the show, and they were just working at SUR, and they weren't just like filming the show. Like I really, really enjoyed. I watched the first episode. I think I'm like almost on the second one, so I haven't seen everything yet. Mm-hmm. But I just love that they brought everything up. Like as a viewer, there was nothing that was unaddressed, and there's nothing worse than like when your intelligence is insulted as a viewer when you watch it for a long time and things just aren't brought up. I'll use a wrestling example, like Vince McMahon decides to drop the title on somebody, a week before, and then literally the next week, like they're a completely different character, or they're off TV, or they have a different name. Like that's insulting to me as a viewer. I don't want any of that.
Right. I agree with that. I think with wrestling, because there is more of a writing element that dictates what's on the screen as opposed to these shows, I feel like they can have those opportunities to hoodwink the fans. But like you said, like the example, like you can't insult the fans. You can't insult the intelligence of the fans.
It's the Men in Black gif. Like you forget about it.
Right. I think with wrestling, sometimes on the other end is when they do something that you don't expect, but it's for a bigger reason down the road. So that's the only difference from that in reality TV that I'm seeing. I feel like more wrestling, from what we cover, it is dictated by what the people behind the scenes are formulating for that episode, as opposed to we're getting real life dynamics. Yeah, are the producers chiming in here and there for their non-biased perspective on situations? Absolutely, and I'm sure there is times where productions insert their. I'm sure. I'm not going to deny that.
100%. I mean,
I can't sit here and tell you that like, oh, producers haven't said to somebody, oh, bring this up on camera, or you know you're going to be filming with someone and you're going to bring it up because of course you are. Like that you're filming a TV show. It doesn't make it inauthentic. It doesn't make it inauthentic that like, the Real Housewives of Rhode Island filmed their walkout the second time. Maybe the angle wasn't good on camera. It doesn't mean that the show is staged at all. They just had to get a better shot. It is what it is.
Right, exactly. By the way, Alex Baskin, if you need a producer for the Valley, I like to offer my services. I think I'd be a good producer, actually. I could ask the people during the confessionals and stuff like that.
I would love to work in that space with. I'm right there with you, 100%. I think it's fascinating to me. That's why I've been a fan for so long.
We would kill it as producers on those shows for sure. Absolutely. So House of Stassi, a couple other things I wanted to mention really quick. Like I mentioned, Katie did carry herself good in from what I've seen on House of Stassi so far. So far so good on that end. I told you yesterday that Christina Kelly initially for me was one of my initial crushes when I was watching VPR. She's just like naturally hot, like just her eyes and everything. So it's great to see her back on TV. I will say though, the whole thing with her getting worked up about that whole payroll comment that Katie made was a little over the top, to be honest with you. That she's that offended, and then she's like, "Oh, I didn't want to do. I was forced into doing season 10 of Vanderpump Rules." Like, no, you had
no,
the choice.
You weren't. I mean, I haven't seen this quite yet, but like, no, you were not. The producers knew that Katie needed a friend in the show, and she was obviously a natural connection in the group, and she was brought back. Yeah. I enjoyed her on season 10. I really did.
Yeah. One thing I didn't realize, Matt, like I knew that Bo had a couple years on Stassi, but I didn't really recognize the age gap between them until I started watching this show.
Is it like 10 years?
It's close, at least 8 or 10, somewhere around that range. I think that, look, I'm not going to discredit marriages for age gap relationship. That doesn't bother me. But you do see the age difference in the communication style and how they process things, especially. And I just didn't realize that Bo was already pushing 50. It's crazy to think about.
I would not realize that at all. No way.
And then obviously they do give hints of what's going to be happening down the road, which I kind of like as well on the show. But they're also, I think people would be easy to say, oh, Bo's just having a midlife crisis. No, I think he's going through a lot of things internally and a more existential crisis with his career and where he's at in his life right now. And I think there's kind of maybe some resentment lingering in how the dynamics between both of them as a couple are. He loves his family. He's a great father. He takes care of the kids, takes care of the house. And then I think Scheana even said on her podcast this morning saying that there's an interesting dynamic and she has a lot of empathy for Bo for dealing with a breadwinner dynamic because Brock has to deal with that dynamic as well. So she feels bad for him to a certain extent. So, oh, by the way, it wouldn't be a Stassi show one episode in without a dig or a stray sended towards Sheena's direction. I saw that one coming.
100%.
And then, I never watched Vanderpump Villa, so I have no idea about the whole thing.
Either.
So it was just interesting. Oh, I got tea for you for Scheana. And then Stassi's like, this girl will be at my funeral, and then she'll make it about herself.
That was a perfect line. I really enjoyed the cast. Stassi's sister, awesome.
Yes.
Plus.
Shout out to Georgie.
I love their dynamic. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Also, his friend's name is Rob, right?
Yeah, Rob Evers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Love Rob. Shout out to Rob. I'm from Westchester, PA, and huge Eagles fan and Philly guy. So love that for Rob. And it's also very intriguing to me. Like I just love the authenticity of it. The fact that like even the guys, they're best friends, and they haven't talked for 8 or 9 months. Like it's nice to see that it's very authentic and it doesn't insult my intelligence. I really enjoy it. Honestly, I'm kind of saving it because I don't want to like watch all 8 episodes right away because obviously it's going to be renewed. But I'm really looking forward to watching it. And we'll definitely do like a whole show about this.
Yeah, absolutely. Once me and Matt are done watching all the episodes, we'll do like a full season like recap of it. I've been doing like individualized episode reviews. Recently, you can see those on the YouTube channel as well. I've been trying to do that kind of the same way I've covered the Valley. So I'm taking my time with it and giving it its space. So, plus you never know with Hulu and Disney. I don't want to run into copyright issues. So I've been very decisive about what I want to share with my coverage of House of Sausage. Yeah. But I am talking about it right now, and it's a good show. And like I said earlier, I'm just happy that she's getting a second opportunity in her professional career, and she's doing it on her own terms, which is really cool to see. So, before we head out here, we need to discuss some news that have come out of the Bravo sphere. There's other shows that are going on. We got trailers for shows coming back. We got shows and other controversies going around. And I'm, like I said, I can't catch up with everything with Bravo. I wish I had 48 hours in a day, but I don't.
You will.
But great thing to have Matt here because he is a fan of the Housewife franchise, and he has a lot of things to share. And I'm excited to get to know from his point of view what's going on, so I could learn and look out the stuff for myself. So, Matt, tell me what's going on in the housewife world, and also what else is going on Bravo.
So on my X, I have that I'm a housewife's mark because it kind of
yes,
definitely defines. I follow the housewives like I follow sports. Like obviously, follow the filming and everything, and there's dynamics behind it. I've been watching since 2009, maybe, and like consistently since 2011. So I've got a good grasp on everything. I absolutely love all the shows. I watch pretty much everything. The only shows on Bravo I don't watch consistently, I would say, like Project Runway and Top Chef. Have my favorites and things. I'm a massive Housewives of Orange County fan. It's one of the franchises that got me into it. I really, Josh, have very much enjoyed the season of Orange County, and it's a true return to form. And as a fan, that's watched for a long time, and I know I keep saying that, but it's really, really authentic to what Housewives of Orange County started as. This season has been very, very light and fun, and obviously the return of Vicky Gunvalson's been unbelievable, and having the core four of Vicky, Shannon, Heather, and Tamara back has been great. It's really funny, Josh. The newest housewife is Carmela Garcia. And Jeff Garcia was the Eagles quarterback in 2009. If you were to tell me 15 years later that I'd be watching her on Real Housewives of Orange County, I'd be like, no way. But she's been a great addition for sure. I get really frustrated when fans ask for something and they complain for years. Well, not complain for years, but when Tamara left Orange County, the show just was not the same. Mm-hmm. She really moved storyline. She's authentic to the show. And they clamored for her to come back. And then what do you think happened when she came back?
Complain, bitch.
Complain. She's evil. They tried a whole takedown season last year, which was unfortunate. And now we have people in the space that are really criticizing the new season. And I think it's just the best it's been in a very, very long time. And I'm really, really enjoying it. 100%. And definitely want you to check this out, Josh. Orange County's been really good this season, and the dynamics are really good. Like Vic, everyone's giving Vicky shit because Vicky's shtick, Josh, every single season is that she pretends that she doesn't know who the newbie is, and she's only ever gotten along with Shannon.
Right.
And then she's doing the same thing again. She's like, oh, who's Carmela? I'm not going to invite her. And Tamara's like, I invited her to the winery. Like, come on, Vicky. You know who she is. It's her. It's just, you can see how much I'm smiling right now on video.
Yeah.
But it's been really, really fun to see. Other Bravo stuff, I'm super excited for Housewives of New York. I was totally out on the reboot. Look, guys, I understand that we're trying to have representation and things in shows, but when you just throw a bunch of random people together that have no connection to each other, it insults my intelligence as a viewer. So I think with, the bringing Erica Hammond on the show, Daisy Toy, as well as Haley Glassman, who is married to John K+8, and then the return of Kara Raswell, who is a fan favorite.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that. The new season looks great. And also the trailer for Housewives of Salt Lake City as well. It's going to be a crazy season. Mary Cosby, I'm not sure if you saw, Josh, her son Robert Jr. passed away literally the week they were supposed to start filming.
I heard about that, yeah.
So to see, all the girls rally around her has been great. There's a couple like separations that are bound to happen with Angie and Whitney. People aren't really sure like if it's, authentic or not, but I'm looking forward to watching it as well. And I know we're going to talk about the Summer House and the Below Deck crossover really quickly, but I want to kind of like do a little mini rant just for fans. Like just like with wrestling, I really enjoy this reality TV space, and I don't really like necessarily want politics involved. And I'm like really getting sick and tired of seeing, Bravo fans and people on Twitter like assassinate people's character. Look and see who they like on Twitter. Look, like I tweeted something on my ex, like there's room for the Real Housewives of Nashville and Seattle. There's room for every single group, period. I just don't understand why people need to involve politics with these shows. I don't care who a housewife or cast member votes for. I don't really give a shit. It doesn't matter because it's not really relevant.
Right.
I just think whether it's a producer or a fan, like, guys, just take these shows for what they are. They're for entertainment. I enjoy the characters, and I just like I do with any other person, take them at face value and just see the good in everybody. Like, why are we like picking and choosing? It's very frustrating.
I bet. I don't like it in any form of entertainment. To be honest with you. I don't look at people differently for who they vote for. I'm straight up with anybody that ever asks me about politics. I'm not on either side of the fence. I think a lot of times both of them are full of their own shit. Yeah. And I go about how you treat me and what I see. I don't need people to dictate my opinions on shit. But also, it has nothing to do with the show that we're watching. So I could get why that's frustrating. Keep it to what you're watching. Even like this recently with the Valley, like there's people finding reasons. Oh, that makes sense why Danny acts like this because he's a Trump supporter, or they're going after them because they're Christian and they're really big in their faith and going to church and stuff like that. How does that make them a bad person?
It doesn't. It doesn't. And
I don't get that.
And there's so many accounts on X that just like, you would have a good fan page if you wouldn't just put your political views in every other word of what you're posting. Like, just cover the shows. Like, I don't really care. It doesn't really affect me. Like, again, like, just like with wrestling, like these things are just for entertainment. They're fun for us, and we want to dissect them and watch them play out in front of our screens. Why are we inundating politics? It's just, I don't understand it. I never will.
Right.
And I think that at a network level and a fan level, that need to remove any bias whatsoever, because I also feel like we're missing lots of segments of people that would be good reality TV.
Right.
I mean, I'm waiting because Bravo is doing a show in Texas. I'm waiting for that to come out and for everybody to start talking about it. Like, Real Housewives of Dallas, it was good TV. I enjoy good television. And
they had a Dallas one?
They did Real Housewives of Dallas for a couple years.
How many housewife franchises are out there?
A lot. And Dallas was really good for a long time. Leanne Lockton was unbelievable television. Look up, once we're done, Josh, I'll have to send you some clips of Leanne. Leanne was wild.
I mean, what the hell? Where the hell is the Real Housewives of Chicago? Or where the hell is that?
I know that they've been trying to do a show in Chicago for a long time. I think that they had a group together last summer because they were filming. I don't think that they picked them. I think Rhode Island got picked. But I know that they've been trying for a while in Chicago.
Like you're just missing out on money. I mean, there's some really good suburbs out here in the city if you especially want to showcase the rich people, or you go by Wrigleyville, by that north side of Chicago, where you had a lot of nice fancy houses out there and stuff.
There was a lot of rumors for a little bit, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, that they were going to do a show based out of the town that was like where Home Alone was filmed, because that's apparently a very, 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 very rich area in Chicago. So that'd be great too. I'm from outside of Philadelphia, and you guys want to see big money and Beverly Hills, go to the main line in Philly. Like, it is like the amount of old horse money and mansions and just different dynamics. And from just like being around and interacting with me, people from Philly, we're different. Like, I'm not from Philly. People from this area are just different. I have no idea why Bravo has not done a Real Housewives of the main line. That would crush it.
I bet it would. I mean, it probably got a lot of high rollers in that area too, probably.
Absolutely. And and trust me, there's a lot of people that would be unbelievable casting.
Oh man. I will say the chick, Ariana, I guess it's a tie, right? Like the NYC Next Gen, that's like kind of like a spin-off from Housewife, right? That's like the kids of the show. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, Gia Giudice, Teresa, Brooks Marks, Riley
Kim
Burch, Candy,
Kim Zolciak.
and then Ariana is Kim's daughter.
Okay. She's fucking hot. Let me just throw it out there. I know we haven't done a waterfall list in a while, but if we did, she would be honored, man. Oh my God.
She is gorgeous. I'm a huge fan of Rowan, who's on the second season. She's Brooke Shields' daughter. She's stunning.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning.
I only saw a couple episodes of Next Gen NYC because it would air after the Valley. So I would watch it when I'd be like putting the clips up as like background noise, and it's an interesting show. I've liked this so far. Really
I like it. I do like it. I do watch it. I think that they have something, but I think that there needs to be a few little tweaks here and there. I'll reserve judgment until the end of the season, but I'm happy that they're doing something a little bit different for Bravo. And I know that I believe they've already filmed Next Gen LA. It's going to be Heather Dubrow's son, Camille Grammer's daughter, Mason, which, by the way, I love Mason. She's great. So it's definitely going to be really good. And I also want to bring up, before we wrap everything up with this episode, how excited I am for the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. Like, for me, Housewives 20 years, to have that trip, and apparently we're going to have 80 different Housewives. I was very, very fun watching following the filming and who was cast and everything. And as somebody that Nene Leakes literally sparked my interest into the show when she pulled Kim's wig. I have a Nene Leakes Atlanta Hawks basketball jersey that I bought. So, I'm so looking forward. When I saw that clip that they released when Nene came on the show, I screamed. She's definitely much needed for Atlanta, and I can't wait to watch Ultimate Girls Trip. That's going to be really fun. Josh, honestly, that might be a really good start for you to watch that and then branch off of who you like and the certain franchises from there.
Right. I remember you bringing up Nene Leakes before because I basically popped up on Raw one time. I remember this because we were doing the pipe bomb and you were like, "Oh my God, Nene, you're freaking out!"
And she got in Arion's face. They had a whole little backstage segment, which was great. And I remember, Josh, you know them. One of my favorite lines is "Cheers to the girls' weekend." I love that line. Yes. The best.
I agree. I think getting to watch the Ultimate Girls Trip would be good starting point. I think for me, I like color schemes and stuff like that. It's like the designs of the shows. For those who don't know, my favorite two colors are purple and orange. So orange obviously for Chicago Bears, and then I always like purple because it was an Undertaker thing. So those are my two colors. Anyway, Salt Lake City popped out my eyes because it had the purple look with the Utah Jazz, and this purple is always representing Utah. And then Orange County looks pretty cool on that end too. I first heard about Vicky Gunvalson when they had BravoCon last year because she came out to the stage and Andy gave her an orange for her return and stuff, and she got a big pop from everybody. So I thought that was pretty funny.
I definitely agree with Vicky. She should have probably never been fired. She's the quintessential housewife. Such a hard worker. She reminds me of my mom so much. Such a hard worker, great mom, just right. And she's just so much fun. I just know if I ran to Vicky, I would want to go to Andale's with her, and it'd be awesome.
Two more things. Will LVP be on the Ultimate Girls Trip?
Nope.
Oh,
nope.
That's unfortunate.
Which honestly is really unfortunate. I'll say this for a second. How she left for Housewives of Beverly Hills, I don't agree with how they ganged up on her per se. It was a stupid storyline, but how she left was just it to me just kind of put a black stain on her whole Housewives legacy. She didn't show up to the reunion. Teresa Giudice literally went to prison and has been through everything, and she never has missed filming, never missed a reunion, and you just got called a liar and you're not going to show up to defend yourself. So you were clearly lying, right? And obviously, she's made a lot of money off the Vanderpump Rules and with all of her restaurants and stuff, but I just wish that she would get off her high horse a little bit when it comes to Housewives and realize, that's where she got her start. And honestly, she was a quintessential character. You can't sit here and tell me that if Lisa was still on the show that they wouldn't have probably picked Lisa over Kyle. Lisa is, people think Beverly Hills. Obviously, you think of Kyle Richards now, but it was Kyle and Lisa.
I don't think she really realizes how big of an impact she would have if she came back to Beverly Hills. I don't think she realizes that. Would you stay at her hotel in Vegas if you had a trip out there? Would you go to the Vanderpump Hotel, or would that be too much of a, I don't know, feel weird staying at a Bravo-based hotel?
I mean, I would definitely stay there. I want to go to the restaurant and try the cocktails. I heard the cocktails are unbelievable. Really, really good drinks. But they are doing a whole show about that. That will be coming out, like, I think probably in the fall. I think it's called Lisa Las Vegas. It's based around the opening of that hotel, and that hotel already opened.
Well, since that is around the VPR realm, we'll definitely cover that on the show as well. So I'll probably be documenting that too. My sister, Alex, lives close, like Sacramento, San Francisco area, kind of like Lake Tahoe region. And she got to go to Wolf for her birthday.
Oh, cool.
And she showed me pictures of it. It looked really, really cool. I was like, damn, I got to go out there, man.
She is such a smart businesswoman, Lisa.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I'm a little shocked at the amount of restaurants, and like her partnership with Caesars is crazy. Like, I do give her a lot of credit. She's a hustler. And does she need Beverly Hills? Not necessarily. I think the show probably needs her more than she needs it. But it just, not having her, and not having Bethany, not having Brandy Glanville involved with Ultimate Girls Trip is kind of sucks. I understand Bethany talks bad about the network. I understand Brandy obviously was suing the network, and there was a whole thing with her and Ultimate Girls Trip. Well, that's a different topic for another day, Josh. I'll talk to you about. But yeah, definitely be better having all those people on the show. And I also did want to bring up the Summer House and Below Deck crossover that was just announced. I'm so excited about that. I'm somebody that just is very new in the Below Deck world, and it's so different than Housewives or Vanderpump Rules in such a unique way. Like, there's so many people that they're friends of mine from college that never watch reality TV will watch it with their wives, and like I'll text about. It's crazy.
Right. I need to get into Below Deck too. I need to find time to watch it. Obviously, I think it's cool that Sierra is actually filming this season, and she's not going to be doing the Ariana shtick where she thinks she's above the show now type of stuff.
Thank God, because that was insufferable.
I bet.
Extremely
we thought about it before.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I'm also happy. Like, the whole crossover thing is so cool because Summer House, obviously, like, they travel from New York and they're there for a couple days on the weekends and stuff, but they never get like a real cash trip. And this is like their first like real like cash trip overseas. And it's going to be, it's so cool. Definitely watch the Salt Lake City crossover because you see it from the staff perspective, and then you see it on Housewives or Summer House or whatever from their perspective. So it's interesting. Below Deck is big money, man. They finished Below Deck Med airing the previous season in February. They premiered the new season in June, and they're already filming another season right now, which is insane.
That's wild, dude. What was I gonna say? Last two things here we're gonna mention here before we say goodbye, everybody, is we'll tie this into one. I wanted to hit into what's been popular on the headlines on TMZ the last couple days. First, we'll start with this. What was your thoughts on this whole Tom Sandoval and Victoria stuff that's going on? And then secondly, we'll wrap up with Matt's thoughts on Smart Water Gate.
I don't know. I feel like Tom should just kind of like take some time for himself. I feel a little bit bad. Like, obviously he did a lot of horrible things and, you know, cheated on Ariana, and it was a big issue, but there was a lot of scrutiny and, you know, bullying from people that never met him in their life before. So I think that's unfortunate. And, you know, to have that dirty laundry air in public really stinks. I hope he's happy. I hope he's doing well. And I mean, to talk about another man's things are just, I think that's so like low class and such a slap in the face, and just like, it's demeaning. And I don't appreciate that at all. And I don't think anyone should ever talk about those things personally.
I agree with you, and I, knowing a little bit more about that situation and like seeing it from afar, like Victoria was so self-absorbed, and they had this news hit that came out the other day about her basically wanting to get the Ariana treatment and she was like basically talking down to Tom, making a scene every time he would have a concert, and just basically using him for the attention. There was something that Kristen and Brittany brought up where she was acting weird at BravoCon, and basically pretending that she didn't know about the Valley and stuff like that. And I felt like those two were just not a good match for each other. I don't think it was going to work out, and I think she was too self-absorbed. And I hope for Tom's sake that he does have this time to, like, I don't know if he needs to do more therapy, or I don't know where his relationship is with alcohol, if he needs to take a step back with just everything and just like distance himself and just go on a recluse mission for a while. I don't know, because I feel bad for him. Like, I don't want to have these things carrying over his head for the rest of his life. Yeah, he cheated on somebody, but that shouldn't criminalize him for the rest of his life. Like,
exactly.
he needs to move on. And then they announced that Ariana's appeal for Rachel's lawsuit got denied. So that case is still going on. And then what was your thoughts on the smart water stuff? I like smart water, by the way, before we get into this.
Same here. I mean, I didn't necessarily like look into everything about it, but like I also I know obviously what went on and stuff, but like these fake companies happen all the time. These people are celebrities. Like, he made an honest mistake. So I don't really know why people are coming down on him. It's unfortunate. And again, like, Jax, I can't defend his behavior a lot, but like, people are always talking about him. He's always in the news. He's always being mentioned on the show. Like, oh my God, dude, can you imagine if this came out before the reunion? They would have talked about it for half an hour, and he's not even on the show.
Right.
Period.
I think they underestimate the power that the guy still has. The fact that he was mentioned on every episode this season of The Valley, he was mentioned. So that has to be a sign that he's coming back. It has to be.
Or they wouldn't talk about him. And like, for Andy to be like, oh, like, you maybe can tell that his mental health issues aren't good. Like, come on, man. Like, you don't need to say that. Like, obviously Brittany's there, and I'm just gonna say this right now, and it's just it's a feeling, and it's my personal opinion. I don't think that Brittany necessarily shines on her own. I think Brittany and Jax as a couple, for me as a fan, obviously hold a lot of weight, but like, Brittany just consistently brings Jax up all the time. And I know his behavior, again, this can't be defended and stuff, but if you had that much to offer yourself, like, you'd be talking about other things, period.
You want a hot take for The Valley?
Yeah.
I think Janet's going to turn on Brittany in the next couple of seasons.
I think she's going to try and turn and change the audience's view and do whatever she thinks the audience wants her to do, to be honest.
Kristen said this a while back, and I thought it was so true. Janet wants to be like Stassi and Lala so bad that she wants to be the number one girl in the group. Like, I bet you anybody she would feel a way about the fact that Brittany was sitting next to Andy on the reunion trip. This is how petty these fucking people are.
Oh, for sure.
So
I mean, Josh, who in your opinion is the number one girl in the group? Because I know what my answer is.
Lacy.
I would say Lacy.
I would say
Nia.
Kristen. I would say you.
Kristen. Yeah, definitely Kristen, 100%.
Like, I mean, for this season, for me, it was Lacy, but overall with The Valley, it's definitely Kristen, for sure.
Definitely Kristen, 100%.
And I know Luke is going to be in the crossfires next week, and Danny will get into that stuff next week. But yeah, it's reunion time. I'm glad we were able to get a lot of stuff off our chest today. It felt very cathartic in a way, but it was also a lot of fun to catch up with you. And like, we didn't miss a beat, man. It was a really good episode, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Matt, thank you so much for coming on again today, my man.
Josh, thanks so much for having me. It was such a pleasure and an honor to be back on. I'm looking forward to coming back and talking about Bravo stuff, and it's been awesome to reconnect, and I'm so proud of you for all the time and effort you put into this project, and looking forward to seeing where it goes, and hopefully being a little small part of it, and yeah, so really thank you so much for having me. You guys can definitely, if you would like to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at mmccool24. My Twitter name is Stitch right now, but I might go back to Matt. We'll see. But thanks so much for having me. It's awesome to be back on, and it was awesome to talk about something completely different, but also that is very similar to what we covered before. Wrestling and reality television have a lot of parallels, and I've always told you that from the start.
And I'm excited because we got the Eagles and Bears on Monday Night Football later on in Soldier Field in September. So very excited for that. Football season's back. And like you said right there, it's great that we have something else to talk about besides wrestling, but we also can keep the same energy and flow like we would do if we were on the pipe bomb. So it's been awesome. Make sure to follow Matt, by the way, on Instagram and X, mmcool24, anywhere you get the social media platforms. Hit me up on X. I'm at the Hoops Podcast, Instagram, Josh Lopez Music. Make sure to follow us on TikTok at SUR Files, SUR Files. And then we have our YouTube page at the SUR Files. We're on the road to 100 subscribers. So help us out wherever you can. Appreciate the support. And remember, folks, be the authentic product that is yourself. Remember, nobody dictates the pace of your life but yourself, the man upstairs. Don't forget, new episodes of the SUR Files drop every single Friday anywhere you get your podcast from. And shout out to the folks at Odyssey and their Odyssey Creator Lab for having us on their platform. So for Matt McCool, I'm Joshie Lopez. This has been episode 21 of the SUR Files. Lala Kent may say that she's not coaching people. Janet may say this. People say a lot of things on these shows. But guess what? You can find the truth on the SUR Files. We'll talk to you next week. Peace.